Hey y'all, how y'all doing? So, originally I had a video already ready and waiting, but I was interrupted while filming, so I'm reshooting. All right, so what I was talking about today for my PSA is me telling my story. Sometimes you gotta let it all out so you can let people know what's going on with you, what's been going on, and how you're doing. That's my advice to you for today. Tell your story, some, you know, to whoever you want to tell it to. And you never know how it may help someone. So my story is the story that I'm going to tell about myself. One of the stories is about the disease that I have called NMO. NMO is short for neuromyelitis optica. Neuromyelitis optica. Another name is Devic disease by Dr. Devic. He passed away more than 80 years ago. So, so I was diagnosed in 2010 when I was 24 years old. I look good for my age, don't I? When I was 24 years old, and I lost the sight in my right eye. So one day I woke up and I was just fidgeting with my eye because sometimes when you wake up, you can't really see like that. But this lasted for a week. And because I don't like going to the hospital, that's why I was outside for a week. Like, I can't see you. So then one day, that Friday, I was like, it was beyond me. My left eye was straining because I can't see out of my right eye. I could no longer see. It was so blurry and it was turning gray. And so I went to my boss and I'm like, I don't know what's going on in my eye. It's been bothering me all week. She was like, leave right now. Right now, because one thing you don't want to do is mess with them eyes. And she wore glasses, so she was just like, nah, go, do what you got to do. We'll see you. Let me know what happened. So I was like, all right. Went to the hospital, went to the emergency room, and I'm like, this is in March of 2010. I'm like, yeah, my eye is messed up. I can't really see. And they're like, how much can you see? And I'm like, can't see nothing out of this eye. I couldn't see nothing, but everything was gray. Well, actually, you see where my hand is at, and you see my forehead? That's what I could see. That's what I could see. I couldn't see under my forehead. I couldn't see under your forehead when I talk to people. So anyway, I'm like, I could see your top of your head, but below that, not a darn thing. You could be giving me the finger. I wouldn't see if I covered this eye. Because I could see on my left eye, but I couldn't see on my right. My left eye was getting blurry because it was straining to see because my right eye went suddenly blind. So they sent me to the optometry department. Good thing it was right there next door. They rolled me over because in Monty they have the hospitals are connected on Gun Hill. So went to optometry, saw them, and they're like, you have something called optic neuritis. Never heard of it. What the heck is optic neuritis? They said the optic nerve that connects to your eyeball is inflamed. You have a lot of inflammation and it's swollen. And we have to give you steroids. So they say there's a number of reasons why you have this symptom. Because this symptom means that you have something else. So I was like, okay. I never wanted a disease. I don't really get sick like that. I was freaking out a little bit, but not too much. Because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what they was going to tell me. So they're like, okay, so I got admitted to the hospital. And my mom came, and, you know, that's my support. My support. Through everything I go through, she's my support. So my mom comes, and she's like, I'm here for you, whatever you need. And I'm there, and they're like, we're going to give you tests. We're going to see what's going on, because it could be a number of reasons why this happened. So they do all these blood tests, and I have to stay in the hospital to get the quarters, I can't say the whole word, steroids. Gotta get the steroids for the inflammation in my eye, but I have to be inpatient to get this dosage. So I get the dosage, it's a 3-day stay, and while I'm in there, they do a CAT scan, they do a MRI, my brain, and they scan my brain, they scan my spine. And they give me a spinal tap. Get all these tests are getting done. Funny story about the spinal tap. I probably said it before, but it's like, so like, it's a big deal for me because it was a really hard time. I've never been sick like this before. I don't go to the hospital. At that time, I was never in the hospital before. I never had to be admitted. I don't know what it's like. I visited people, but I never really stayed. So, anyway, my brothers were there. My mom was there. So they give me the spinal tap, and my brother comes in, and I'm like, they're like, don't get up too fast, you're gonna get a headache. I got up, I still got a headache. I didn't get up too fast. I felt it when they put the needle in. It hurt so much. I heard the crunch, because they had to drain the fluid. I'm like, it feels like you're draining the life out of me. And they're like, that's how it feels when you have to take out the spinal fluid. Whew, Lord. I didn't feel the full pain. I felt some pain and a lot of pressure. Then I had the headache. My brothers come in, and I'm still blind at this time. So my older brother comes in, he's like, I'm gonna buy you an eye patch, and then we're gonna bedazzle it. My younger brother comes in, he's like, do you want to eat that? Because it was dinner time. I'm like, you mad greedy? I don't like hospital food. My older brother was like, nah, you gotta eat these carrots though. They had a little bowl of carrots, and then they had carrots in the meal. My brother made me eat them carrots. They fed me the food because I couldn't sit up, because my headache was too bad. I had to lay down. They fed me, and I ended up giving my little brother my dinner roll, and he ate the rest of my food. And we were sitting there laughing, and that was like one of the best moments in my life, because it's me, my 2 brothers, and my mom. We grew up together. My mom didn't grow up with us, but she grew as an adult. But we grew up, and it was always us. It was always us in our house. We had our own little things going. We had our own little family thing that my mom created. Oh, sorry. And it was just us all the time. So that moment took me back to, it's us. It's always going to be us. So we in the hospital. We're laughing. They made me feel so much better. My headache didn't go away, but I didn't think about it as much. It didn't hurt as much as it was hurting. That's the great thing about laughter. That's why I'm always like, if I'm ever attracted to somebody, he gonna be funny, because I can't be with someone who's like serious all the time. You know, like, no, you gotta crack a joke. You gotta be funny. You gotta be funnier than me. You can't be. You can't be boring. You can't be boring. You gotta be funnier than me, and you gotta be able to deal with my family making jokes on you. You know, because we all make fun of each other all day. Anywho, So that happened. I get home and I'm in a lot of pain because my back still hurts because they did the spinal tap right before I left the hospital. And they prescribed me Percocet. I hate Percocet. Hate it. Matter of fact, I didn't have it yet. They prescribed me oxycodone. It was Percocet, but the generic is oxycodone. So I get home. I've never had this drug before. I just know right now I hate it. I get home, my back hurts, and I can't move around too much. I get my medicine. I go lay down, take your medicine, and I wake up. And I'm like, oh, I can move again. Oh, listen, when your back hurts, you feel every breath you take. Your muscles are moving. And you don't notice this when your back is not hurting that much. Now, people go, oh, my back hurts. I know what you're saying. Nah, I'm saying like the pain, like you can feel when you do this, you don't know how many muscles are moving in your body unless you looked it up or studied it. But this right here, all those muscles on that side of your body are moving. Even the muscles here are affected by this movement. A cough is like... So anyway, I was moving again, but I had to lay back down. That joint was it's just not for me. I don't like the non-being able to control myself. I hate medicine. So I took it. So then, that happened. That time was over. Fast forward, that's March 2010. Fast forward to January 2011. New York has a really big snowstorm. I am walking to work over a mile. I don't have a car. I used to live in Yonkers and I worked in Co-op City. For those who are in New York, you know what that's. I lived at 241st. I lived near 241st in the Bronx, right by Yonkers and Mount Vernon. And my job was in Co-op City by Bay Plaza. I walked that. So if you live in New York, you're from the Bronx, then you know what I'm talking about. Know what I mean? Anywho, I walk to work and I get there, halfway there. I had to walk every day, by the way. So I'm walking and then one day, I pressed my leg up against my computer desk, which had metal legs to it. And my leg felt kind of strange. It felt like it got hot. It felt like warm. So I'm like, that's weird. And I kept doing it. Like I woke up before everybody. It was on a Sunday morning. I woke up before everybody. And I put my leg against them. I'm like, yo, this is weird. My leg felt warm. I'm like, why is my leg warm? So, like I kept doing it. Like, maybe something going on up here. Maybe I think, but I really don't know. And at this point, I had never really studied anything or looked up any information on medicine or medical things and nothing. I was always interested in biology, but I never pursued it or looked it up. So, you know me, I ain't going to the hospital. I went to the hospital a week later. I went to the hospital. By the time I got there, I didn't go a week later because within a couple of days, I couldn't walk. So that's when I went to the hospital. I couldn't walk. I get to the hospital and I'm telling the doctors about this new symptom. Backtrack. The doctors did not know what I had. They did the blood test. They thought I had multiple sclerosis. Then they thought I had lupus. And then they were like, oh, you have this disease called Devick's disease. You have Devick disease. And it's a combination of both the diseases. That was on the internet. And they looked on the internet to find out what I had. So, and all the information we looked up on the internet was all about death. There were no organizations at that time that was transverse myelitis, which I'll do another video about what that is. Transverse myelitis was the only organization out at that time, and they still didn't have enough information on my disease. Back to my story. So that January, I went to the hospital, couldn't walk. I'm sitting in there. I was so bad. I was losing the feeling in my legs. And that's why I was having the cold sensation. So I'm sitting down. I'm in the hospital, and they're like, will this work? No. And then I had another symptom. I get this pain every few months. No matter what, it comes. I get this pain where it feels like someone's ripped the skin off of me and left it exposed to heat. You know, you get that burning feeling. Like when you scrape your knee and then all the blood comes out of the skin because somebody ripped the skin. It feels like that. I had that, plus I couldn't walk. So they gave me this medicine. They gave me all types of pain medicine. Valium, Vicodin. Nothing worked. They gave me Percocet. Again. Sitting in the hospital. Because they gave it to me before. I think I'm mixing up. No, I'm not. They gave it to me before, but they gave it to me for whatever. They didn't give it to me in the hospital. This time they gave it to me in the hospital. I was just laying down, so I didn't really move around much. I didn't feel the effects of it. Then they gave me this procedure called IVSM was supposed to help me. That plus the steroids was supposed to help me with my inflammation and the symptoms that I'm having, the new symptoms I was having. And I'll explain IVSM another time. We're just gonna keep going with the story. We're already almost at 20 minutes now. So I'm in a hospital. I having a hard time walking. Good thing my bed was next to the bathroom, so that I could go to the bathroom on my own, even though they didn't want me to. And everybody's visiting me. I know a lot of people that work at the hospital, so they coming to see me. My mom bringing me breakfast. Her husband brought me breakfast before he went to work. And she made sure I ate lunch and dinner because I didn't like the hospital food. So, you know, I felt mad special because mommy was cooking for me. Ow! Either she was cooking or buying me McDonald's or something. So I'm in the hospital. We doing that. I met this great girl who had brain surgery. And I think she forgot she had brain surgery. And in the middle of the night, she got up. I didn't even know she was there because they brought her in overnight. And she fell in front of my bed. I couldn't help her because I can't walk. But she was disoriented because of her brain surgery. So I called the nurses and they helped her. Me and her ended up becoming friends. I can't remember her name. And I know she don't remember me. So I can't remember her face. That's how bad. That's how, you know, my memory's not that good neither. So, anywho. So, they gave me the stuff. I go home. I was there for like 2 weeks. I get home. And it's like, now I'm at the point where I'm thinking I'm going to be okay. I'm happy to be home. I'm not in pain. I'm able to walk again. I'm walking slower, but I'm able to walk. And I fall. And I fell and hit my back against the wall, which ignited a new symptom. And this symptom was the right side of my body gets hot, like somebody pouring hot lava down. And the left side feels like somebody's trying to bend me like that. So when I get the attack, I turn in and I'm burning, so I'm crouching. And my body automatically does it. Not like I'm doing it. My body just automatically closes, trying to close, like going to the fetal position. First time, the most. It was so painful because I never experienced that pain before. It still is very painful. Like, I never got used to the pain. And I used to have it on and on and on. That happened. I ended up going back to the hospital. Right back. So I went back in for another 2 weeks. Another few days I was in the hospital. Then they sent me to rehab. And I go to rehab for 2 weeks. And I hate rehab. Okay. My symptoms, right? Okay, I'm going to say it like this. When you can't walk, you have an accident or something happens, you lose your ability to walk, you have to now relearn how to walk. I didn't have that issue. I didn't have to relearn it. I couldn't walk. But whenever I didn't have the attacks, I'm walking fine. I could move, I could walk, I didn't have no muscle atrophy. They put me in rehab because I was in the hospital for a while and because they were afraid that I wouldn't be able to walk right because I was having issues walking because I was losing the feeling. It was like, when you lose the feeling, your brain is blah, blah, blah. We got to teach you how to walk and we got to do this, that, do that. And because my insurance paid for it. So, and because they didn't know about my disease. They didn't have much information. So when they don't have information, they're going to try everything they can to help you because they really don't know what to do. So I'm telling them, you know, while I'm in rehab, they're still giving me the medication, hydrocortisone. They're still giving it to me. That's what I was trying to say one time. I couldn't get the word out. Steroids. They still give that to me. Like, they tapering me off. And I have to move slowly. The lady came into my room one day and goes, "Oh, I'm here to..." She wakes me up early in the morning. I'm like, first of all, why are you waking me up this early? It's not for no test. "Oh, I'm here to give you a sponge bath." I said, "You better point me in the direction of the bathroom. Ain't nobody touching this body but me." And she was like, "No, but you have to wash every day because they don't want you in there in rehab. I don't know if this is in every rehab, but they don't want you in rehab not washing and not taking care of yourself. You still have to do regular things that you do if you was at home." And that's the whole idea, and I get it. I had OT and PT. So I was like, listen, if you let me go to the bathroom, you get the water, I wash my own body. Because at first, when I first got there, they wouldn't let me go to the bathroom to wash. I could use the bathroom in my room, which didn't have a shower. But I couldn't go, because the shower wasn't inside the room, it was outside. So when I first got there for the first couple of days, because of my condition, I couldn't walk to the bathroom and go wash myself. So I had to wash up in my bed. So I was like, give me everything. I'll do it. Close these curtains. Just let that move. So I washed myself, and after a couple of days, I was approved to use the shower, which is another process, because when you go to the shower, they have to get you a chair, get you a towel to sit on. First she was like, "Oh, you just want to sit in a chair?" I was like, "Hey, you better get me I need something to sit in that chair with, because I'm not just sitting in a chair with my bare booty." So She got me a towel to sit in. I said, put everything there. I'll wash myself. She said, you sure? You don't need help because you're a forest. And, you know, I was like, give me the stuff so I can wash my body. If I need help, I'll pull the string. So it took me half an hour to get to the bathroom. And the bathroom was right on the corner from my room. So it was down a little hallway, but that's why it took me half an hour to get there. And that's why they were so cautious. But I was like, I'm refusing help. And I had to let them know, I'm refusing your help. You can set everything up, but you are not to touch me or try to wash me. I have to do this on my own. And in my mind, I thought, if I keep being strong about doing this, I keep, being adamant about taking care of myself, I won't be sick for much longer. So, because, they say, if you act sick, then you're going to stay sick. But if you don't act sick, then you won't be sick. So that's what I was thinking. That's why I was like, yeah, I got it, boo, I got it. So, I washed myself, and as the days went on, they saw that I didn't need therapy, physical therapy or OT, occupational therapy. I was able to move. My symptoms started to dissipate again. And they saw that when I had the attacks, I couldn't do anything. But when I didn't have the attacks, I was able to move again. And mind you, this is my first encounter. So my body was learning how to, my body was adjusting to my new circumstances. It was adjusting to the fact that this is a very bad pain. This is what's going to happen. But when it's over, you can move again. Because at first, I was like in shock. And I was afraid, so I couldn't move well after. So, anywho, I was able to move, and I got out. I was in there for like 2 weeks. I got out. They wanted me in there for like 4 months, but I was like, I gotta get myself better. I gotta get out of here. I don't like being in the hospital. So I got out the hospital. My family came to see me a few times. We had a good time. We had fun. It was hard for my younger brother because we do so much together, and for him to see me like that, it was hard for him. And my mom it was a strain on her because no one was ever used to me being sickly or having a disease. We all had to adjust to it. It was hard on my daughter's father, everything. Everybody was just like stressed out because of this. And it made me more depressed. And I suffered from depression already, and it made me more depressed because I was a burden to everyone now. I wasn't myself. I wasn't my healthy self. I wasn't able to help nobody or do things for people. Now everybody had to do something for me, and I didn't know how long it was going to last. And I kept saying, why me? I've always appreciated my body. I've always appreciated my health. I've always appreciated people. I love people. I love helping people. I'm being there for people, all that. And now I'm at the point where I can't be the same person I was before. I have to get taken care of, and I have to accept people's help. Not good at that. I'm not good at accepting people's help because I feel like I should be the one helping. I don't like being a burden. So, fast forward. I get disability from my job. I have to stay home. I ended up getting fired from my job because I was out too long. I kept trying to come back too early. And the HR lady was like, don't rush it, because if you rush it, then you're going to be out again. So, just stay home. I stayed home until I got fired. Company called me, they fired me, and then they moved her out of that position because I don't think I would have got fired if she would have stayed there. They was making a lot of changes at the time. So anyway, I got fired. I'm sitting at home. Now I have to file for welfare, and that was the first. No, that wasn't the first. That was the second time I filed. First time I didn't get accepted. And I just went, got a job, and did what I had to do. This time, I couldn't just go get a job and do what I had to do because I was sick. So I filed for welfare and I filed for disability because from the government because I didn't know how long I was going to be sick for, and it was really, really hard for me. And someone suggested that I do it, file for disability, and I didn't think I was going to be able to get it. So I get the disability. I didn't get the disability. I filed for everything. I applied for everything. I sat through these interviews. I'm in pain. I'm going through this stuff. And how I found my incredible doctor that I see today. Great part, right? So I kept hearing my doctor's name. Dr. Swerdlow, Dr. Swerdlow, Dr. Swerdlow. I thought that the students that first, the doctors that first saw me, they were students. I didn't even know they were students. The doctors that first saw me, I thought the head of them was Dr. Swerdlow. Because they put it on all my paperwork, Dr. Swerdlow. And when I was in the hospital, I never even seen Dr. Swerdlow. I saw Dr. Kaufman, his partner. They work in the same building, same office. And so I thought he was going to be my doctor. But then I kept hearing Dr. Swerdlow. And when I went to see my PCP, she was like, "Oh, you're seeing Dr. Swerdlow, right?" I said, "Yeah." I wasn't. So she sent me to Dr. Swerdlow's office. And so when I saw him, he said, I have this medication that can help you walk again. I have this medication that's going to help you be able to move around again and walk again and stuff. So I was like, great. And he was like, but you have to wean you off of steroids. And you can't be taking steroids and take this medication. Because we have to see how it works for your body. It's an immunosuppressant. We have to suppress your immune system so it can stop being so overreactive. I have an overreactive immune system. And that's probably why I ain't get sick before. And so what happened was the protein aquaporin 4, I'll teach you about that another time. It's when I got the flu in 2010, my body fought the flu off. I had got the flu shot. And then right after I got the flu, my body fought it. And it never stopped fighting. And because of that, I started deteriorating. So now my body's attacking me. And it's trying to kill me. Because it's now thinking that I'm foreign to it. So, he was like, he took care of me. I love him. I talk to him. He listens. He doesn't just treat me like I'm a dumb patient. He listens to my questions. I brought my mom to all my my first appointments with him. All of them. She went with me to the eye doctor. She went with me to see him. She was at the hospital all the time. Like, my mother is a trooper. Okay? So I start seeing him, and he puts me on his new medication. Ooh, I forgot the name of it. Anyway, I was able to walk again. So I'm walking, and I'm good. And then the medication stopped working. He told me it could stop. It could either keep going or it could stop. He gave me a combination of medications. He gave me that. Imuran. That's what it was called. Imuran, gabapentin. And I started taking those. I ended up leaving my daughter's father. My daughter's father and me broke up by myself with somebody else. And I'm going through stress because I'm still down. I end up getting my job back, but I reduce hours, and I can only work part-time. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get welfare to help me out with my bills, and I'm trying to get disability. I'm waiting for disability. The first time I got the letter back, you get rejected. They say you always get rejected the first time. You got to go through their doctors. Their doctors don't know jack about what I'm going through because my disease is rare and there's not much information on it. So I go to their doctors. They send you to this building. You got to sit there for an entire day. Go to the doctors, and they're like, oh, what do you have? Blah, blah, blah. I'm telling them everything, my entire story, yada, yada, yada. I never heard of that disease before. Do you have paperwork? Bring in the paperwork. Come to see me. And then some of the visits, because I had to go see them more than once, I was in so much pain, I could barely talk to the guy and tell him what I was going through. I said, look at the paperwork, I can't talk. And I'm out of breath because the pain was causing me, it makes my muscles move sometimes. So my muscles are moving and I'm tired. Like I was running, I was jumping, like that amount, like when you're in pain all day, every day, it's just like, you just get tired. So I was always tired because I'm like, I'm in pain. And so they'll be like, Natasha Polo. And I'm walking. Everywhere I go, it's a journey. It takes me a long time to get everywhere because I can't walk, I can't move fast. I can't even move regularly like I regularly move. Like I don't have to run, but it would take me a long time. So they'd be like, Natasha Polo, Natasha Polo. I'm like, I'm coming. I can't move fast. So anyway, I get the welfare. I get the disabled welfare. Cause they're like, can you work? And I'm like, no. Why? Cause I'm sick. Bring all the paperwork for that. They send me to the doctor. I'm going to see a doctor. Blah, 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 blah. I go there. Now they put me in this program where all the disabled people are in one place, healthy people are in another place. So the building I was in was full of disabled people. It's called the Poe Building on Fordham. If y'all from the Bronx, you're from the Bronx, it's on Fordham. I was in that building and all of us are sitting in there all day because you got to be doing something. You can't be at home doing nothing. You could work a part-time job. And it was so hard for me because I'm getting to this building and I'm in pain every single day until they got a letter. I got a job. I got my job back. And I left. I was so happy. I was like, I got a job. And then they send you to this place. You get an outfit. You're not just sitting in the building doing nothing. Like, you could utilize your time. So they give you time slots for things to do. Like, if you want to use a computer, look for a job, you can. You learn about job training. They try to do all that stuff with you. It's not as effective as when you go to, like, certain place programs built specifically for job training. But it was alright. I met a lot of people. Met some people who were really nice, really funny. They get everybody's numbers because there was a lot of I was in there with a lot of drug addicts and disabled people. So some people were disabled and you could tell clearly this lady cannot get a job. But it was like she got to sit here all day. As soon as I got my job, I was out of there. Catch my smoke. Got my job back, worked part-time, worked close to my house. And taking care of my daughter. Then I was able to move back to the location I was at because the same company I got a job with. Same bank. I was able to move back to the bank that I wanted to work at. Put my daughter in the school I wanted to put her in. And I worked there until I got pregnant. When I got pregnant, I almost died. And I've been on here for a long enough time. So, part 2 of my story I will post tomorrow. Peace out.